Just go over the edges. I'm telling you, this works like magic. It just reduces the blending time to like 3. Look at that. Hey sis, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are doing a soft glam makeup look, and this is a detailed soft glam makeup look. I want all my sisters to get this. So we're going step by step from beginning to end. We did some eyeshadow. For those of you who's been asking for an eyeshadow tutorial, I went in depth in this video. So if you're interested in how I achieved today's soft glam makeup look, then just continue to watch. Alright sis, so let's get into this soft glam makeup look. So I've already done a few of these soft glam makeup looks on my channel before, so it is not something new. I actually really like soft glam makeup looks. Soft glam makeup looks are good for a girl's night out, any type of event, birthday events, things like that. So knowing how to do a soft glam makeup look is like super important, especially if you're getting into makeup and want to have different variety of makeup looks. So it's very soft focus, very subtle, no harsh lines, but it's a full glam, so you're doing everything. So foundation, concealer, contour, everything. So let's get into the first product. Of course, we want to start off with a primer. So today I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is the one with 4% niacinamide, and niacinamide really helps with texture and just smoothing out the skin. So that's why I like using this one specifically. They do have another formula. So I'm going to use this all over my skin today. I just want something really hydrating. I really want my skin to be super smooth because, like I said, this is a soft glam makeup look. It's supposed to look soft, smooth, super soft focus. So we're gonna apply this all over the skin today. And this is a really thick type of primer. Like as soon as you put it on, you're gonna notice that it's very thick. It does have that hydrating element to it, kind of similar to the Milk Hydro Grip if I were to compare it to a Sephora type of brand. So if you do like the Milk Hydro Grip, you would definitely like this as like an alternative because it definitely hydrates and really has that grip and stick so that your makeup will stay put throughout the day. So really love this, and again, super affordable. Okay, so this is a full glam and we're doing eyeshadow. So I like to work from the top to the bottom. What I mean by that is my eyebrows, my eyes, and then I work on the base. So I like to get my primer out of the way so that it has time to sink and settle into the skin. So that's why we did it first. Just got it out the way. So now I'm going to move on to my brows. Now you guys have seen my brows countless times. We're doing the same thing. e.l.f. brow gel, e.l.f. brow pencil, and just filling in the brows. And for me, using a brow gel is like my favorite thing because I feel like for me specifically, because I have a lot of brow hairs, I don't need to worry about filling in my brows too much. My main concern is that it just lays. I really need my brows to lay flat and just look really tame. So a brow gel is usually something I pick up. So you guys are always probably going to see this e.l.f. brow lift until I find something else that equates, but this is just like my go-to. And then once I have that brow gel on, I just like to go in with my brow pencil and fill in the sparse areas. For soft glam, you definitely want to keep your brows really natural. So if I would advise something is really take your time with your brows and make it as natural as possible. I highly recommend using like little strokes to mimic the look of brow hairs instead of like really penciling on your brows, if that makes any sense. So that really helps to keep the brows looking really natural. All right, so like I said, we're moving down. So the next thing is our eyelids, and we want to prime our eyelids with a concealer. So you could actually use an eyelid primer as well, but because I'm going to be shaping my brows with this concealer as well, I'm going to use it to shape my brows as well as prime my eyelids. So I'm going to be going in with the handy dandy LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is in the shade Fawn. And I like this because you can actually use this just how it is. It does have like a little brush applicator. I personally like to just go in with my brush and put a bit of that product onto my brush and then go in with shaping my brows. So I'm just gonna go in with my concealer brush, and I like to blend that concealer down towards my eyelids because, like I said, we're gonna be priming the eyelids as well. So all I do is blend that concealer down. And for your brows, you want to grab a concealer that is 2 to 3 shades lighter than your complexion. So pretty much the concealer that you're going to use to highlight with is what you would want to use to do your brows. So I'm just going to place some of that concealer on my eyelids as well and blend that out as well. And in that way, we have this whole area here that is primed and ready to go. All right, so you guys could see the difference between both eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever done a soft glam or if you're gonna be trying this look for yourself. Honestly, it can seem very intimidating doing a soft glam makeup look because it is like a full face of makeup, but with my steps, I feel like you guys will pass with flying colors. Like, this is such an easy look to achieve, especially for those days when you want to do a little bit more with your makeup. For example, being invited to like an event or anything like that. A soft glam makeup look is like the easiest thing to do, to look put together, to look like you actually try to do your makeup. So let me know if you have ever tried a soft glam or if you have your own little version of a soft glam makeup look. All right, so just like that, we did our brows, we concealed our brows, and we primed our eyelids. So now we're ready to get into the soft glam eyeshadow look. So today I'm going to be using my NYX Ultimate Shadows palette. This is their warm neutrals palette, and I feel like focusing on a neutral type of eyeshadow palette can give you the best soft glam eyeshadow look. And this just has really warm neutral shades, and I feel like for a soft glam, that is what you want to aim for. So when I talk about warm and neutral, I'm talking about oranges, browns, nudes, things like that. So those are the type of eyeshadows that you want to aim for when doing a soft glam makeup look. So I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. blending brush. This is their eyeshadow blending brush, very standard. So this is what we're going to use for our transition shade. And when it comes to your transition shade, you want to grab something that is your skin tone or really close to your skin tone. So for anyone that is around my shade or in the deeper range, anything orange based is what I tend to go for because it's very close to my natural skin complexion. So looking in this palette, I can go in with a few of these, but I usually go in with the closest thing to orange that I see. So in this palette, I'm looking at this one. So we're gonna go in with this one today as our transition shade. So I'm gonna dip into that eyeshadow, dust off the excess, and what you want to do is apply it right above your crease. So you don't want to put it directly where that fold is, you want to put it a little bit on top. And I like to first just pack that shade on. So I pack it on so that I get the most pigment that I can out of that shade. Let it stick to the concealer that we applied down. So just like that, we just applied it. And then I go in with circular motions to diffuse it. So this is gonna really blend it out and make it look really subtle and blended on the eyelids. So just like that, windshield wiper motions and circular motions at the same time. So we're going back and forth and we're going in circular motion. And that just really helps to, as you guys could see, really diffuse that shade on the eyelids. All right, so next I'm going in with a crease brush. So a crease brush is a lot more smaller, tapered, really easy to get into the crease and apply your shade. And with your crease shade, you want to go in with a darker shade than your transition color. And this is just key. Like, this is how it is. It's how it has to be when you're doing your eyeshadow. So you always want to go in with a darker shade in your crease. So in this palette, I like to go in with browns, like really dark browns in my crease. So I'm thinking to go in with either this one or this one here. I'm kind of leaning towards this one. So I'm going to dip into this shade, dust off the excess again. And again, we're going to pack it into the crease. So find where that fold is and you want to just pack that shade into the crease, just right under the transition shade that you applied. All right, just like that, I just packed that shade on, and I'm gonna go back into my e.l.f. blending brush. So this is what's going to create that seamless blend between the two shades. Now you can dip back a little bit into your transition shade. So that was the orange shade that we applied. I'm gonna dip just a little bit back into that, dust off the excess. And what you essentially want to do is blend those two shades together. So I'm going to just go over where that line of demarcation is. And I like to just use windshield wiper motions this time. So we're not using any circular motion. We're just going back and forth. And this is just going to blend those two shades together. And you're going to naturally see the blend. And you can keep dipping back into your transition shade just so that you don't lose that shade in the process. So you guys could see the eye look is coming together. For a soft glam look, I like going in with a really bright nude shade. So in this palette, I'm looking towards this one here. It's really bright and it's gonna open up my eyes. When I think of soft glam, I'm thinking of really bright, open, awake looking eyes. So I like to go in with a really bright nude. So we're gonna go in with this shade today. And I'm gonna take my Menage short shader brush, and it's just a flat brush. You always wanna use a flat brush for your eyelids. This is just gonna pack on that shade for you. So I'm gonna dip into that shade, and I don't dust this off. I need as much pigment as I want. So when it comes to your eyelid shade, you want as much pigment. So do not dust off the excess. All we're gonna do is pack it onto the open space. So we're just going to literally dab it in. And I like to start with the inner corner, so you could see how that really brightened up the inner corner. And we're just gonna follow our natural crease and where our lids is. And I like to go over a little bit where the crease is. And I don't bring this shade all the way to the end. I like to stop a little bit halfway, just right here. I'm gonna go back into my crease shade, that dark shade here, and we're going to just blend the edges, the outer V here. So I'm just gonna apply that to the outer V, and this is gonna complete the entire look. So that's about it for the eyeshadow, guys. It's very straightforward. So at this point, you can pretty much do what you want with your eyes, whether you wanna apply some mascara, eyeliner. For eyeliner, I recommend not going in with like a liquid eyeliner and doing a wing. Go in with something that's a little bit more subtle. Even if it's a black eyeliner, just lightly brush it across the lash line. I'm actually gonna do that today. Let me do that today. So I'm gonna take my Essence Kajal eyeliner pencil, and we're just going to make a really thin line across the lash line, and this is just going to bring the eye look together. You can also use a dark brown eyeliner for this as well, but I highly recommend avoiding cat eyes and winged eyeliners for a soft glam makeup look. So I just created a really thin eyeliner, and that's about it. At this point, I'm gonna apply my lashes, and we are done with the top portion of our eyes. After I do my base, my foundation and everything, I'll move back to just completing the underneath of my eyes and all of that stuff. So you guys will see it come together, of course, like you always do. So I'm gonna quickly do the other eye off camera, and then we'll be back to work on the complexion. All right, sis, so I applied my lashes. I used my Ardell Wispies. These are my go-tos. You guys already know, you guys saw me put it on. So at this point, we are doing what we said. We're moving down. We've done our brows, we've done our eyeshadow, we've applied our lashes. Now let's move on to the complexion. So today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. I'm in the shade 368, and we're just going to use this as our foundation. I really like that it's Lumi Matte. I get the best of both worlds. Lumi Matte complexion, cannot go wrong. So we're going to use this as our foundation today. And for foundation, I recommend to try not to use something that's super full coverage, just because soft glam is supposed to be that. It's supposed to be really soft. So I highly recommend using something that's light to medium coverage. Try to avoid the full coverage. If you need to do full coverage, use a beauty sponge so that it doesn't go on super full coverage. But yeah, try to go really lightweight with your foundation. I'm gonna pump just some on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. Just gonna warm it up on the back of the hand and then apply. And I like to just dab this into the skin, stipple it, like I like to say. This just allows it to really have that skin-like finish. You never want to swipe it on or swirl it on. You just want to just lightly dab it into the skin. And this has such a beautiful coverage. You guys are seeing it for yourself. Flawless. Flawless. And when you're applying your foundation, just try to focus on the outer perimeters. Like I said, you don't need to really focus on putting any foundation underneath your eyes, as that is reserved for your concealer. The less product you put underneath your eyes, the less creasing you're gonna have to deal with. So I always say just avoid foundation underneath your eyes. But I really love this because it dries down to a really nice soft matte finish, and you can't go wrong with a soft matte, especially for a soft glam makeup look. All right, so we have our foundation on. I could say the look is coming together. definitely coming together. So let's move on to some concealer. So like the concealer that we use to clean out the brows is the same concealer you want to use to highlight with. So that was my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. And you guys know the do. We're just going to apply this underneath the eyes. And I'm going to work in sections just because this likes to dry down really fast. So I'm just going to apply a bit of this to my inner corner. And because this is a full glam, I'm going to do the lift effect. So that's just placing this concealer just on the outer edges here. It's going to give you a really nice lifted finish, and then we're just going to blend it out. And I always like to say blend out the edges first and then work your way into the inner corner. And as you guys could see, this concealer is a really nice brightening concealer. You can see how it really brightened up the look. Also, when you're doing a soft glam, try to use less product. Like I said, the less you use, the more subtle and soft it's gonna look. You don't want to see any harsh lines, so what I recommend is using less so you don't have to be blending out harsh lines too much. So you can always work your way up if you want to add more, but always start off with a little because a little goes a long way. And you guys saw that I put some on the sides of the nose here. You guys know that's always going to act as your nose contour. All right, so we're gonna finish up with the other areas. So our forehead, down the bridge of our nose, Cupid's bow, and the chin. And you guys saw how little product I use, and do you see how fast that was to blend out? I used such a little bit of the product, and this is what I mean by a little goes a long way. With my nose, I just like to dab that concealer in and really keep it down the bridge of my nose. This just really keeps the look of a sculpted nose. And then with your forehead concealer, just keep it into the center. You guys could see that I really sculpted out my face with this concealer. This is exactly what you want. You don't want to bring this part all the way up. I say this in all my videos because it's true, you don't. So because this is going to take a long time to blend out, a trick that I like to do is go back into my foundation brush and just go over the edges. I'm telling you, this works like magic. It just reduces the blending time to like 3. Look at that. Look at that. So just go back over all the areas you applied that concealer, especially here. You could see that little line. I just like to go over that and make sure that it's blended out. All right, so first off, glam, I highly recommend doing some contouring, just really chiseling out your face and bringing that structure to your face. So I'm gonna go in with a cream contour. So today I'm gonna be using my NYX Wonder Stick. This is in the shade Deep, and I only use the contour side. My favorite drugstore contour stick. It just does the job for me. Really easy to blend out. So I'm just gonna apply this to my cheekbones, and all I do is like to just apply just a really small line, and then you want to apply some to your forehead as well. And I like this because it's very subtle, it's not too harsh, and that's what you want to aim for when it comes to a soft glam, just something that's a lot more subtle and not too in your face. So we're just going to apply it to all the areas that we normally contour. And then just taking my foundation brush, we're just going to use that and dab that contour in. Like I said, this is really subtle, but you're going to see the structure once everything is done. So you just want to blend your forehead contour into your hairline. And then your jaw, you just want to keep it right in the area where your jaw is. This is just going to give you a really structured jawline, especially if you have a double chin like I'm starting to get. It really just helps to kind of give the illusion of a more chiseled jawline. And then with the sides of my foundation brush, I like to just blend out that nose contour, and I like doing this because it's really easy and fast to blend out. As you could see, like I literally just did 2 dabs and it's already blended in. I just think it's a really quick and easy way to blend out your nose contour. So the look is definitely coming together. At this point, we're ready for some powder. Let's get into some powder. So today I'm going to be using my Makeup Revolution Banana Baking Powder, and this is just going to set all of the areas that we applied that highlighting concealer. So this is a really nice brightening powder. It also claims that it has no flashback, so if you're going to be taking pictures and things like that, you definitely want to use a powder that is flashback free. HD you definitely want to avoid because HD is going to give you flashback like never before. I always just recommend using something that's closer to your skin tone, in the medium deep range, banana, things like that. So we're gonna go in with this one today, and I'm just gonna use my Wonder Beauty Velour Puff. And like I said, this is a brightening powder, so you're gonna see how it instantly brightens my face. But always make sure that your crease is blended out before you go in with your powder. This is crucial because you don't want to be setting your creases, and then you just want to dab that powder in. And I like to just bring the powder again up on the sides. You could see how that instantly just gave me a more slimmer nose. That is the trick. So bringing your concealer and your powder up on the sides of your nose. So we're just gonna do the other areas as well, down the bridge of my nose. I know this is probably looking crazy to you, but trust the process. All right, so at this point we can go in with our all over powder, and the all over powder is going to kind of fix all of this. I look really bright. Don't get me wrong, I really like the bright under eyes, but we want everything to look really uniform. So this is where your all over powder comes in to save the day and just bring the look together. So today I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder Filter Pressed Powder. This is in the shade Deep Neutral, and we're just going to apply this all over the skin. I like this one because it's really lightweight, so it's not going to give that cakey look, which is what we want to avoid for a soft glam makeup look. So it's very lightweight, mineral, I would even say. So we're just gonna dab this in everywhere. This is gonna set everything in place. All right, so at this point I want to bring back some dimension to my skin, so we're gonna go in with some powder contour. So we already did the cream contour, and you could lightly see it. The powder that I applied just now, the all over powder, really kind of washed it away. So that's why we're going back in with some powder to just bring back that depth and dimension to our skin. So I'm gonna dip into the darker shade in this palette. This is the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette in the medium to dark shades. And I took an angled contour brush, and all we're doing is just brushing this in our contours. This is gonna bring back some depth and dimension and color to the skin. So you guys could see how subtle this contour is. And then taking my mini contour brush, we're gonna do the nose contour. All right, so last thing before I move back to the eyes is some blush. I feel like blush is like perfect for a soft glam makeup look. It really brings the look together, adds some color back to the skin. I feel like if you don't have a blush with your soft glam, something's missing. So today I'm gonna be using my NYX Buttermelt blush. This is in the shade Had Butter, and we're just gonna apply this to the cheekbones. We're gonna bring back some color. So I'm gonna use my Real Techniques blush brush. This is the number 400 brush, and apply it to the apples. This is such a nice subtle blush. I feel like I could go in with a heavy hand and even still it won't be so harsh on my skin, which is what I love. All right, so let's move back onto the eyes. At this point, I like to go in with an eyeliner in my waterline. So I'm gonna take the same pencil I use for my tight lining for the top portion and just do my waterline. Doing this really brings the eye look together and just kind of puts everything into perspective. It also gives you the illusion of a smaller eye, more sultry. And then I'm gonna go back into my eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna take that dark brown shade that we used in our crease and the same crease brush, and we're just gonna brush this along the bottom lash line. This is gonna bring the eyeshadow to a complete finish and bring the eye look together. If you're gonna do eyeshadow, do not skip your bottom lash line. All right, and then for mascara, I'm gonna take my Maybelline Sky High Mascara and just apply this to my bottom lashes. And that completes the eye look. All right, sis, at this point, we're ready to move on to the lips. So for the lips, I feel for a soft glam, you wanna go for a glossy nude lip. So definitely a brown lip liner and a pinky nude gloss. I just feel like that screams soft glam. So today I'm gonna go in with my Revlon Color Stay Multi Liner. So this is actually a liner that you can use for multiple benefits, for your eyes, for your lips, for your brows, whatever the case is. This is in the shade Catalyst. So I'm just gonna use this as my lip liner today. And then for gloss, I'm gonna go in with my Black Radiance lip gloss. This is the Perfect Tone lip gloss. This is like the perfect kind of pinky nude gloss. All right, and then last but not least is your setting spray. So today I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist. And for a soft glam makeup look, you definitely want to lock it in place, especially if you're going to an event. You want this makeup look to last all day. So I'm going to spray this and lock this makeup look in place. All right, so that completes my soft glam makeup look. Honestly, comes like second nature to me at this point, but definitely something that I advise all of you to learn. So if you need to watch this video 100 times, you can definitely do that. Very straightforward. I try to make it as beginner friendly as possible. We use all drugstore products today as well. So if you need to go out and get exactly what I use today, I'll leave every product that I use in the link below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I love responding to each and every one of you. And if you didn't check out my most recent video, I did do a video on my everyday makeup routine. So this is updated for 2025, what I would do as an everyday makeup look. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave it on the screen right here. And that is about it, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.